Hear the name Hugo Chavez, the words ruthless dictator probably come to mind. After all, this is the same man who came into our country last year and called our own president the devil. Well, now we're seeing a different side to Chavez. Barbara Walters interviewed the Venezuelan president this week. In that interview, he shares his views on America and defends his claim that he is helping, not hurting, the people of his country. We're not so sure about that, so we went to the source, the Venezuelans who ran from his rule, forced to start their lives right here in Central Florida. First on Fox, Elizabeth Alvarez is live in the newsroom with the details on that. Elizabeth, this story's been getting a lot of talk and it hasn't even aired yet.
Sure has, Amy. You know, we have found many Venezuelans here didn't want to come to the U.S., unlike other immigrants who want a better life. These are people who are now residing here, they say really because they feared for their lives in Venezuela.
Yoselga Escalona works as an assistant in this Orlando nursing school.
In Venezuela, I have my own business. I was a psychologist in a clinic in a public hospital.
That was up until she left her country in 2001, fearing for her life. She's like hundreds of Venezuelans who are seeking asylum in the U.S., now living in the Orlando area.
You don't have liberty to express what you want.
The reason, Venezuela's president, Hugo Chavez.
It's very hard to think that as soon as you get out of your house, there is somebody kind of following you, searching, what are you doing?
Are you telling me that that is happening with regular people?
Yes.
They broke into your house? They came into your house?
Yes, ma'am. And they beat me in front of my parents.
It's what happens, she says, when you speak out against Hugo Chavez, even if you have nothing to do with any political group. A former Army paratrooper who claims to be a socialist, who claims to help the poor, and who claims to help his own country.
The poor people wants to have a leader, and he talked like a real leader. So he convinced the poor people.
Irma Pompeo and her family left Venezuela a few years after Chavez first came into power.
The problems continues. It's not a change. It's not a, nothing has been changed. In fact, everything is worse than ever. They can, for example, say no to you when you're asking for a credit line. They can say no when you are asking for a passport.
This former business owner in Venezuela is now part of a group here called First Justice.
We're trying to help others that are coming right now from our country because there is a lot of people that want to run out from Venezuela.
And there are a lot more people that are trying to get out of Venezuela, I'm told. This group, First Justice, is currently helping around 230 families, Venezuelan families, who are now living in Central Florida. Live in the newsroom, Elizabeth Alvarez, Fox at 5.
Elizabeth, obviously not a lot of Venezuelans very happy about what's going on with Chavez. One of the other things that we heard about right after Chavez made those comments was about the Citgo contracts with 7-Eleven and then with our own Turnpike Authority, the Citgo contracts, because of course Citgo is owned by this Venezuelan government. What are we hearing about that right now? It's been a little while.
Yes, Citgo is the only gas that right now is available on the Turnpike. Many of our state lawmakers want to do away with it. I spoke with the Turnpike Enterprise today. They tell me that at the end of this month, a bid is going to go out for a new supplier and that they expect that this new supplier will be in place, I'm told, by 2008.
All right, interesting stuff, Elizabeth. Thank you. We want to know what you think about Hugo Chavez. Do you buy that he is helping more than hurting his own people? That is today's featured blog on myfoxorlando.com.